that's interesting that, people are like, well, there's, it becomes a thing about, I think that like I said, initially and I won't make this about Trump, but I think it's interesting. I won't make this about Trump, but I think it's interesting. It's a very complex thing, Dr. Charm, when we're talking about supporting someone who doesn't support policy. So, do you think that people that align with Trump are standing on the wrong side of history in this situation? Like, just in this particular situation, do you think that?
I think people who blindly align with Trump are standing on the wrong side of history. Again, if people were, if they were not so afraid to criticize him, because you have this two things. You've got the conservatives who secretly really don't agree with all his policies, but they've got to show force and show face and say, okay, well, he's our president, we're going to stand behind him, and we're 1,000% behind Trump, when really they don't agree with everything, but they
Yeah.
can't publicly come out and criticize him. And then you have the other side, you have the liberals and the Democrats, like, we hate Trump, we all of this, they're racist, they're this and this, they're authoritarian, no kings and this kind of thing, but then secretly they do support some of his policies, like maybe the immigration or some of the help to the veterans, or his stance on the jab and how he felt about that. So it's unfortunate that people can't be nuanced in their opinions and publicly expressing them, though privately they may have other thoughts.
Yeah, yeah, maybe it's just the way. Maybe it's just the way it all rolled out. Even immigration is crazy because I feel like it's hard to stand behind something or somebody and then watch like ICE like drag people out of their home, even if they're documented or not, like sending Americans to places they've never been before because it's just it feels like more chaos than anything. And so it's hard, right? I think sometimes and I'm just thinking about the research that I've done about how the Black community has, everybody's like, well, I was in, Black women, of course, are like, I was in that 92% that voted for Kamala. And, you would rather, I think I saw a message earlier that said, one of my friends was pumping gas, and he said he paid like $99 or something to fill up his tank. And he was like, all of this because you didn't want to vote for a Black woman. So it's so interesting where like I just feel like it's one of those things that you really, Black people are very sensitive about their president. And I think it was the way it all happened. um there's a difference between MAGA and there's a difference between conservatives. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that, Dr. Angeline?
I sure do. I was just
Mhm.
looking at Walter's comment, and I thought the same thing, right? You could still be conservative, but when you go full blown MAGA, then you taking me to a whole nother level that yeah, we're not doing this. And I appreciate Dr. Charm also talking about how some of our own Democrats are still, when I look at this whole Israel stuff and who's taking money from these PACs, from the Democratic people, when we're looking at Palestine, when we're looking at Iran, when we're looking at all these things, you still standing with Trump on that. So again, we're picking and choosing what is okay, what is not okay. And again, it goes back to, I understand why some of these people stay behind the scenes,
Yeah.
in some of their thought processes.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, from day to day, I think you see videos of him just talking any kind of way to any people. I mean, it's obvious there's like not much decorum. It's hard to stand behind it.